Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you around the final floor of our countryside project. Today I'm going to take you across the top floor in order to show you how we finished the principal bedroom and principal ensuite. So for this space, we wanted to make sure we brought the client's taste through the colours, be able to punctuate the cleanness of the space. So we've opened up here the space in order to be able to make sure it's a wide angle. So it's a very small amount of space we've opened. It's literally from here to here. So to come up the staircase, through a very skinny staircase to then the bedroom itself, it feels like a very skinny to big opening. And that feels a little bit claustrophobic. So by opening it up with this very small amount of space and then punctuating it with the sculptural vase here on the pillar that's uplit, putting in this glass balustrade with then this lovely little strip of LED lighting allows a cozy impact as you enter the space. We then put a lovely little cane chair, which is a very sweet little feature as you enter the space itself. So as we come into the bedroom, you'll see that we've got a very poignant bed. The client wanted lots of colours, so we've made sure that we brought the outside in. This has then got lots of the outdoor colours from the garden, and that's been brought into the fabric. This is a velvet, so it's very soft to touch, and the bed has then been framed with a dark finished wood, and this is again by Robert Langford. So we've put Robert Langford beds in all of the bedrooms throughout the property. They're comfortable, they've got fabulous mattresses, and then we've got then the silk bed linen by Gilly Nicholson again with contrast trims, and this is a much softer trim that we've used here in order to be able to complement, and then we've gone for impactful cushions in order to again bring the outside in as the client's request. So you'll see here we've got the reading lights again that I spoke about in tour 2 in the other bedrooms. These reading lights are actually put on the eave here because of the space that we've been given. We had to be quite clever with how the reading light hit the space that you would be in bed. Now, we were very lucky to have the support from our lighting team, and Jonathan was able to explain to us exactly where they need to be situated. And it is important not only to put them in a place that's aesthetically pleasing, but also so that it's practical when you're reading in bed, as that's the whole point of the reading lights. Then we've got these lovely glass lamps by Porter Romana. Now these lamps complement the bedroom itself without overwhelming all the colours that we've used, and then linen shades that are just a lovely soft touch. We've then made use of the space that we've been given. Now obviously it's very important to make sure that the space that you've got, you work with it and that you use complementary features accordingly. So here we've put in a little floating window seat into then the window recess. We were structurally limited with the steels that we were working with within the property, but we were able to make the most out of the features with the window seat itself and the chair. So here you'll see we've used sliding doors again because we are restricted with the space. So the sliding doors mean that the doors don't open up into the room itself. We've got very sleek little handle details because the clients wanted limited details so that it's all very sleekly designed. So you'll see in the drawers we've been very clever with how we've utilised the space. We've done hidden compartments throughout, lots of drawers where we're able to. And then you'll see that we've been restricted with the eaves within this space, but we didn't let it put us off because we've cut the wardrobes into the eaves themselves, and even the smallest of doors will open in order to then reveal the long hanging of the wardrobe. Now behind these wardrobes we've put in the air conditioning ductwork again. We spoke about this earlier on the ground floor of this property. So it was very important for the clients to have aircon, especially in this room, which is the top of the property and the heat rises. So what we've done is we've got the ductwork behind the wardrobes themselves, with then the output of the air coming through these vents, which we've dressed with a lattice detail painted in to the soffit itself of the wardrobe. The input air then comes through the floor detail on the opposite side of the room. So the design means it works really well, but it doesn't overwhelm the aesthetics of the room. So now I'm going to take you through my favourite part of this principal suite, and this is the principal bathroom. So this room was once upon a time a very dark and gloomy bathroom with just a bath itself. It didn't have any of these windows. It had a chimney breast that was sat at the end of the bath and one singular Velux at the end. So there was no natural light, it was not bright at all. By actually removing that chimney breast and opening up the space, putting 3 Velux windows in, it's now an absolute pocket of sunshine. It's a lovely space to be in, the clients enjoy using it, and it's made an absolute transformation. What we've done is obviously we are restricted by our heights here being up in the eaves. So we've actually put the bath under then the eaves so that although you've got to be careful with the height, what it does mean is that you're able to get into the bath and enjoy the stars at night. You can look out of these windows, whether it be the day and you're looking at the birds sitting in the trees, or whether it be at night and you're looking at the stars. It's a really lovely feature. You don't realise how lovely it is to enjoy a view when you're in the bath until you've got it. We were then restricted with the odd steel in the space, so what we have done is made them into features. So here we've actually put the Aluka pendant lights through the steel, and we've managed to make sure that they come out and are stepped beautifully, making the most out of the heights that we've been given. These would contrast with then the bronze tops, and the resin are absolutely stunning, and they're IP44 rated, so absolutely able to be used in a bathroom. Then what we've made sure we've done is we don't like to make features of toilets. The last thing you want to do is walk into a bathroom and see a toilet. So the cistern is hidden in the wall. You don't see it as the first feature as you enter the room. Obviously this anchors the space with the pendant lighting, and therefore this is no longer the feature, which is fantastic. We've then made the most out of the space, going into a rectangular shower, and we have used the absolute piece of art, which is the Caribbean island. This is one of our staple pieces of marble that we like to use because it backlights beautifully. So for what once was a very gloomy space is now backlit with this absolute beauty of stone. And again, memories come to me every time I talk about the spaces I create. And one of the memories of this is that when I came in to see this first lit, it lit up a little bit like Superman's kryptonite, bright green and an absolute shocker. So we had to play with the lighting sheets to make sure that the tones that came through the stone were perfect. It took time, but it's always important to make sure that you get the perfect finish in the end. We've then again got the ceiling shower head that's recessed back up into the ceiling so you don't see the arm. Again, makes the most out of the height and is slimline. And then we've got the Lusso stone handheld shower and valve. We then come into then the vanity sink area, which was very important for the clients to have a his and hers sink. So we've managed to give them this with the mandarin stone tub bowls. These are beautiful. Everything I choose I just absolutely love because they all tell a story. Now these pieces we did have to go through about 5 or 6 to get the perfect bowls, but when we did, they were absolutely worth the wait. We then have put it on the Caribbean island worktop on top of the bespoke vanity unit, which is floating, and we've used these lovely Dowsing and Reynolds taps. Now these are actually kitchen taps, but we've used them because of the height that they give over the countertop bowl. So it's quite important to make sure that your tap falls center within the waist of the sink, but also has the height to be able to get both your hands underneath. What you don't want is to use a tap that's too low and then you can't fit your hands underneath. So it needs to be practical, but equally aesthetical, because look at this lovely swan neck that we've used here. We've then got reeded valves that are easy to access and really enjoyable to use. We've then got glowing stone on the back here. So again, we've bookmarked this space from one end to the other, so it tells a story. And this marble is just sensational, so why not make the most out of backlighting it? The mirrors are very simple. They are cut mirrors for the space. And we are again restricted with the steels and structural elements of the space. So we've actually made this a center of the sink itself and put the mirrors either side. Then I come over to one of my other favorite parts of the bathroom, which are these floating shelves made in the Caribbean island, but part of the most beautiful features of the stone. These are mitered rectangular boxes that have got lighting sheets within them, and they are slotted on top of a timber framework, which allows them to be completely seamless in how they are floating on the wall. So without any brackets to be seen, makes this space extra sleek. So that concludes our 3-part tour of our countryside project. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the transformation, and we look forward to taking you around more of our projects, more of the behind the scenes. So please subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.